Yes, we are.
This is Art Matters New York. I'm Mark Safan. I'm here with our regular participants, our artists, and my colleague Hans Vici.
Hi, everyone.
I welcome you all to another meeting. And we're going to look at some paintings today. We have a few to look at. We can get right into that. Does anyone have any comments they'd like to make or announcements? Has anyone seen any interesting paintings or shows or anything noteworthy?
I did. I actually saw Emily Mason in Greenwich.
Really?
Emily Mason.
Yeah.
Isn't she a printmaker?
No, she's the wife of Wolfgang.
Oh.
Oh, at the Bruce Museum?
No, it was in a gallery.
Has she
Oh,
had a recognized a career, alongside?
Her mother was a famous painter, and of course, she was married to Kahn, who was very famous. Who was quite famous.
Right.
But she was not. She's more of an abstract expressionist. And they showed works of hers on paper, oils.
on paper?
On paper, and they were mounted behind glass.
Oh, really?
Wondered about how long those paintings would last or live. Never heard.
But Phyllis, do they have a halo of oil around them?
Oh, you can't see the halo because the paper is completely covered. So I asked the gallery lady. He said the staining is in the back of the paper.
Right.
Oh, it must be very thick paper too.
She said it was especially a crafted paper.
How was the work, Phyllis? Did you enjoy it?
I did. I thought some of it was quite nice. It was when she got spatially adventurous, it became quite interesting. Really interesting stuff.
Do you have any photos of it to show us?
No, I don't think they wanted, to have photos there. They did issue a catalog, but the catalog is so poorly illustrated. It damages the paintings rather than enhances them.
And this is in Greenwich.
Greenwich, right? Right.
You know the gallery? I'd like to see it too.
Can we find it, Mark, on the internet or no? What was the gallery again?
Let me try.
Gallery in Greenwich. And her name is Emily Mason.
Okay.
How long will the show be on for, Phyllis? Phyllis, do you know how long the show will be on for?
Till October, through almost the end. Yeah.
She's no longer alive, I'll tell you that.
What?
Because I see her obit here. I'm looking on.
About 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Is Wolf Kahn still alive?
No.
Also,
No.
Oh, interesting. She's represented by, by Miles McEnery Gallery in New York, which is a very good gallery.
he does.
He has, I think, 4 galleries, like all within, 2 blocks on 24th, I believe, and 2nd or whatever.
What's the name of the gallery?
Let me share this with you.
By the way, Mary, Diane was emailing me that she's probably saying hello to us.
Oh, she wants to come in?
Maybe, I don't know right now. She just, if you see it. or
Gotcha.
watch a little
I'll
bit
watch out.
if
I'll watch out.
there is something going on. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Ah,
That's Wow.
You know, I was just going to say before
There's once in that.
say that there's, you know, been a huge revival of interest in women abstract painters.
True.
Gallery owner said.
Yeah. So, you know, I know a few like, Barry Campbell Gallery
Yeah.
in New York, in Chelsea, which is showing San Francisco-based artists, painters, abstract painters, all women. So that's what I was going to ask Phyllis, and it turns out that she is with this very, very good gallery.
Said that there is they have her because she's there's a renewed interest in the women doing abstract expressionism.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I think some of her commissions are a lot more inventive than this one. I wished I'd have been able, well, they were also behind glass, so they were not, none of these appealed to me. The ones that I
Died very recently. Oh,
yeah.
oh, beautiful. Look at that.
well, I'm here.
Huh. There we go.
It's too bad she passed. We could have had her part of the class.
Oil painting of oil on these papers. I don't know what the surface is of this one.
I
But the
love this. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I would love this big. That would be nice.
reasonable.
Let's see if we can, I'm trying to, here, hold on. Okay.
Yeah, I can go get the
So we're going through a catalog here.
Yeah. Oh. Nice.
Mhm.
Mm.
oh God.
This is 1978.
Oh,
Oh my God.
it has a look of staining, doesn't it? I wonder if that's the effect of the oil on paper. Or maybe this is not oil on paper. Who knows? I don't know.
Nice.
Mm.
It's 54 by 52 and it's on canvas.
Oh, canvas.
Fairly large, 52, 54.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It looks a little like Frankenthaler, right?
Yeah.
They would have been contemporary.
Yeah.
Oh no. She's
Yeah. Yeah.
There were so many that had a very inventive compositions, and they're so poorly photographed here. Really, it doesn't do the painting.
Mm.
justice. Oh wow. You gotta get Barbara on the scene.
What?
You're such a good photographer. You could take these.
Oh, Mackinac. Yeah.
These are really something else.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, gorgeous. Mm.
Almost like a color field, some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, very rich.
How big are they?
Or 50, let me see. 52 by 48
Oh, okay.
Mm.
No,
by 4.5 feet.
yes, yes.
They were smaller. They're like 20 by 30 or something like
that. Oh God. Gee,
Mm.
Amazing.
I've got to see this.
that. Yeah, it's worth the trip. It is.
Well, I would go to the Miles McNerney Gallery. Is this from the gallery itself, Mark?
Sorry?
Is this stuff from the gallery showing at?
Yeah, this is on their website, of the Miles Henry Gallery, right here.
I would go, yeah, the New York Gallery.
But they're not showing this now.
Weber Gallery, where is it?
I don't think it's up right now. This
Okay.
was 2021, I believe.
Mm,
Oh, well, then I go to the Greenwich one.
yeah. Mm.
Nice.
Oh, look at that. Oh, I love that.
Oh.
With the scratches in there. That's really great, isn't it?
Does
Oh.
a lot. Barbara, she does scumbling.
Scumbling?
She,
Oh,
she scratch, she
There we
take
go.
advantage of the surface beneath it quite nicely.
yeah, yeah.
I like this kind of color field, everything.
This, this isn't really color field.
No,
No, because, color field really defines a kind of work, an approach to work that is more or less a coherent surface. So it's from border to border, a coherent surface. So this is interrupted by lines, by movement, by colors,
Oh,
by
okay.
text. So really just more of, it's flat, yes, and there's a consideration of flatness. Everything is, frontal, yeah, but it wouldn't be considered color field painting. Color field, would be more, I don't know, Jules Olitsky, Pollock to some extent, because it's one thing on the whole surface. Anything that's like an inviolable.
like Rothko or
Rothko, yes, but even Rothko, I'm not. I mean, Rothko was a kind of a link to color field. Color field was more, after the expressionists, and it became a little more.
oh, okay. Because it says, I just Googled it. It said Clifford Still. Do you consider that color field? I wouldn't necessarily.
No, I wouldn't either. Jeez. It's apparently a very malleable term.
Yes, it is.
Maybe I didn't look it up right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're fine. It's just
I like this a lot.
people's opinions.
This is a nice painting.
Yeah.
It said also Helen Frankenthaler,
Yeah.
Kenneth Rowland, Barnett Newman. Barnett Newman, you kind of can see that. No?
But color field, was more when objects, divisions, so it was more, were ironed out. It was more when there was an interest in this inviolable surface that emphasized the actual canvas and the stretcher and the painting itself as an object, right? So it was just about the surface of the canvas, color field.
So who would you say, like when you think of a color field painter, who comes to
A lot
you?
of painters like Bryce Martin at the beginning just painted one color on a surface, right? In his case,
Oh, not with the squiggle, not with the line. That
No.
was prior to that. Oh, okay.
so it was really a response to this interest and philosophy that was promoted by Clement Greenberg, right? Which pushed the painting into the realm of just, it is what it is. It's this canvas on a stretcher, and there's no illusion. It basically dispensed with illusion, with the idea of, objects on a field. And so it aimed to eliminate everything but the actual paint and the painted surface. And that was color field. So it was sort of an end. It was the end of Greenbergian thought and his, you know, his this ideal. And then, of course, later artists had nowhere to go. So they started over again and they, you know, attached objects to it, you know, in the case of Rauschenberg and Johns, and just went to, you know, pop and things, right? You know, a soup can or whatever, right? They basically just said, forget this, you know, this is a straitjacket. But it was interesting. I mean, it's an interesting idea, an interesting philosophy, and it was widely practiced. So there was a whole bunch of artists. Hans, are you there? I don't see you.
Yes.
But, you know, especially like in Germany and in Europe, there were a lot of, you know, chromal color field painters. Remember?
Mhm.
Do you remember? Just a lot of people painting like these one color border to border canvases.
Yes,
Mm.
Yeah, a lot.
yes.
Then the all white and the all black.
Yeah.
Robert Ryman,
Yeah.
I found the website.
mm,
You go to, yeah, that's one of the, I don't know, that's similar to what I'm looking at. I've looked up Weber Gallery, Greenwich, Emily Mason, and they have her what I saw yesterday, and some of them are not too badly photographed.
Webergallery.com. How's that?
Can you get there?
No, that's not it.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I saw also a show of Pia Fries, which we talked several times in these classes. And she has a show. Mark, I sent you on the chat a link of McEnery Gallery. She has just a show right now in Chelsea.
She does?
And if you have the opportunity, I would really recommend it. And I send you in the chat the link
Look.
when you go to chat.
Oh, here.
Down here.
Yeah.
Where's the chat? Oh, here's chat. Okay.
Yeah, click it on. It's it.
There's chat.
Had it.
Is it?
See it?
Can you see this or not? No, not
Not
yet.
yet.
Chat.
Not yet.
Well,
That was it. All you had to do was to select it.
I did,
There
but
it is. It's Pia Fries. Is that who you were?
Yeah, please. Right, Miles McEnery Gallery.
Mm.
And if you scroll a little bit down, there is a
Oh,
small text. Maybe you can read it to us, Mark, just a bit further down. There is a statement or what, or some here. You see some information about.
yes.
She studied with Gerhard Richter, you know. You see
same gallery that, you know, this is the same gallery that we were just looking at.
Yes.
We have to get them on the show. We like their stuff.
As in this cycle of paintings, which spans 18 years, Fries
Yeah, hold. Yes.
holds freedom and limits in taut balance. Vigorous gestural abstraction and razor-sharp precision of line are intertwined. Fragmented and enlarged 17th century etchings, fractions of the male form by Dutch engraver Hendrik Goltzius, and Flora and Fauna by German entomologist and botanical illustrator Maria Sibylla Marian appear repeatedly in the compositions on view. So she's basically taking stuff that pre-exists, these existing,
Yes.
you know, she's appropriating stuff from the past.
Mm.
And then with her paintings, you know, she makes this connection to her.
I like that.
I like that too. I didn't like the first one so much. This is much more interesting.
Pretty
Which
good.
one?
This one, I like this one better.
That's a really good.
Yeah.
I like the one in the upper corner, but I'm not seeing that one.
Which one, Bob?
Uh,
Are you seeing these?
I'm seeing, yes, on the screen, but on the upper right-hand corner, I'm also seeing little images of paintings that are not the same ones that are shown. Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
And
that's
large on the screen. Is
strange.
anyone, what?
No, I don't. We see.
I don't see that.
You only see the enlarged ones.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I wonder what,
Yeah, I think it's really something you might enjoy going and see it in reality also, you know.
It's good. It's
There's
very,
some physical, you know, there's a physicality also there.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
Yeah.
just, you know, it's
yeah. It's good.
Very
Pretty
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, they really are. Look at that.
So she's painting, you know,
Oh,
with materiality, with paint, with physical materiality, on top of what looks like, you know, these, I guess, you know, inkjet printed.
it's silk screen, you know.
really?
Too.
To
She's
photograph.
painting on silk screened images?
They're silk screened or they're inkjet, you know.
Ah,
And then paint it over.
I see. Oh, that's really wild. Look at that.
Yeah, she has a lot of shows. She's in lots of museums.
She's a
Yeah.
current artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think her work reminds me of Phyllis's work.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, there is a point, you know, Phyllis.
Phyllis, do you see that?
I understand.
I mean, yours is better, but it reminds me of your stuff.
Yes.
This one spooked me out.
Very quite, it's intriguing, I think.
Intriguing. Oh, yeah.
You know you like the spooky. This one you would like.
I mean, there is also, yeah, something also, as we had before a discussion about, you know, a certain disturbance also. It's not just
Yeah.
easy
Yeah,
to digest, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's, you know,
On the edge of disturbing.
True.
on the edge
mm,
of disturbance.
yeah.
It's not the edge. It's very disturbing.
Oh. Ah,
This one to me is not interesting at all.
Really?
Great.
Yeah, this one to me just feels like she put a lot of different pieces together.
It may be too balanced,
It's
yeah.
too, yeah.
But it's very busy.
Oh, maybe that's it,
Right.
Macia.
some of them are, yeah.
It's a lot of information, sort of.
Oh, maybe that's a good way to look at it too.
But it's very spooky.
This one's spooky. Is spooky?
Yeah, this,
But
Are
I
you
like the
seeing?
combination with this old etching
Yeah.
thing in a way.
Mhm.
It you know,
Yeah.
because it has also this the Rakel technique, you know, of Gerhard Richter.
Yeah.
You know, makes a connection to the etchings in a way, you know, which you could say it's like a Rakel too, you know, like
Yeah.
you know, it's interesting. I mean, here you see it very clearly with in the middle with, you know, and then
You know, it's so
God.
interesting because you could take any piece of art that you like, put it on your canvas and add your touch to it, make a reference to it, and I guess it's okay.
You can do anything.
You know what I mean? So like,
Okay. Everything's okay. You just have to figure out a way to do it and present it so it has sort of continuity, some consistency, so we understand your language,
Yeah.
you know, and then we can delve into it. But you can do anything. on a,
That's kind of very freeing, because traditionally you would have to be very good to be a great artist. You'd have to be very good at painting and drawing and, you know, composition. Here you could be kind of great at just composition. You could take different things
designer,
like a designer.
because you can do a lot of this on a computer and then print out. And
Yeah.
of course, then you have to have some sort of familiarity or, you know, whatever, confidence with the materials.
Yeah.
Because you do this very, very confidently, you know, with materials, you know,
Yeah.
you know, strokes and gestures and paint and
But she's obviously also very conceptual, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is not just painting, it's about a concept, a clear concept, how she puts two things together.
absolutely.
Which are, you know, which, and it's not just the paint itself, you know, it's like
Right.
drawing and etching,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
which is completely something else than painting, you know. But
So getting back to that, getting back to what you're saying, Hans, you think that she started with a concept and just worked it through rather than working from the paint outward?
No,
I would have to ask her if, I mean, you know, she has a long, when you look at her painting, you know, she came from somewhere, you know, she came
Yeah.
from paint.
Yeah.
Maybe at a certain point she thought, I think, you know, it's interesting because she was studying all these old master etchings and so on, and on these
Yeah.
plants, you know, maybe, I mean, she, you know, all her color forms, sometimes they are very thick or whatever. Sometimes they remind me on a cake or like sweets, you know. It's like, you know, I'm getting hungry when I see certain of a painting. There's a, oh, this is like a strawberry ice cream, or I don't,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But it could, and so on. But then, you know, somewhere she made this connection and thought, oh,
Yeah.
this is giving me some, I
But
don't
do you-
know, possibilities or more a wide. It's hard to say, you know. It could be.
I see a lot of white negative space, which in one painting where she painted on sort of three sides and left a large area in the lower left white. It's dynamic.
that's the whole point of this stuff.
Yeah.
Our conception of inner space. Are you the white space is, I think, very
Important, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And funny enough, you know, I see even a painting of Mason now, which we saw before. You know, do you see in the middle, like with this
Yes.
red
Yeah.
screen?
Yes.
You know, when you look, I only have this.
Yeah, this
piece,
like lower
you know,
middle.
I don't know if she knows Emily Mason, but I mean, you know, it's very interesting. You know, there is always a connection, whatever you do.
Yeah.
You know, even there is no other possibilities than having connections.
Yeah.
You can't do something which has no connection to it, to something. Even you are not
Hans-
aware of it, you know. It's like
Right.
it's the unconsciousness of paint, you know.
Oh, I love that. The unconsciousness of
No.
paint.
Yeah, that's great. Hans, is any of her work without this underlayer of old prints and
No, I think she has, you know, when you look at earlier painting, there is, for instance, no, I don't
There
know when
isn't.
she started with the silk screen or, you know, and this type of thing. I can't
Okay.
tell you. No, she was just painting actually, but with
Yeah.
thick color also, very, you
Ah,
know, voluminous, almost like sculptural pieces,
mm,
or, you know, sort of a relief type of thing or whatever.
ah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to see some of the
you find,
earlier
I think,
ones
I
too.
think you'll find a lot of work, you know, on her website also, if you are.
Oh, good.
interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hans, how old a person is she? Do you know?
She's probably, it says actually in the text there, she's
I think-
probably around 60. 60 or 65 or whatever.
I think it said that she was born in 51.
51. Oh, you see. So
Something
actually
like-
I
then
believe
she's actually a little bit older.
And what is her name?
Pia Fries.
Fries.
It's like fries. Pia and
Yes.
fries. It's not French fries, it's Pia Fries.
I
You can remember it the best.
And she's at the Miles McNerney Gallery right now.
She works with several. She has also, she teaches also. She has, she's professor somewhere she was in Berlin professor. Now it's in Munich, I think. And she has several galleries. Yeah. She's, that's her gallery here in New York.
my impression is,
Shows a lot. She has a lot of shows and she's very successful.
oh my God,
Really, yeah.
Phyllis, what were you saying?
I'm trying to say something and can't squeeze in here somehow. I believe that this work is interesting because the white has its own materiality. Somebody said negative space. It's not negative space.
Mm.
Positive space. You can work your way around the color to the white. The white has materiality.
Yes, yeah, I stand corrected.
Because I do.
Yeah, it's not negative space, it's the absence of color on it, but it's got its own power.
White color.
Yeah.
It's like what Franz Klein said, he paints white.
Exactly.
He paints the white.
Mm.
I think it's very complicated work. It's not.
Yeah, I
No,
like it a lot.
But did you see in the last piece, Mark? When you look at it, sometimes there is even so clearly detailed when you go back. Did you see the foot?
Yes, I saw the foot.
Okay.
Sure.
Because it's and then are the legs.
Oh,
here,
look at
you
that.
see the
There's
legs.
the foot.
So you see suddenly, and I think that's actually great because
Oh, look at
you
that.
suddenly you
Yeah.
don't see it first, but
I
then
didn't
No.
you
see you
see
pointed
these
it out.
legs there very clearly,
Yes.
and so I think it's a good
Yeah,
At
way
first, you
of-
just see shapes.
yeah.
Yes.
You don't see that they are feet, legs.
So it's this transition of not being or being a human and not being a human or just being not material. It's a great analogy in a way, of our
Yeah.
life. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so there is a lot of things to think about or to open, your things. And I don't know exactly if the white space is really, the primed canvas, but she uses also two or three types of white, which the white comes out of the tube, which we see over there. There is another white maybe, which is added on the white on white, or you know what I'm saying, that there at least
Functions color.
at least is that the canvas itself as a primed canvas plays a huge role, in
Color.
yeah, it's I think you have to really, they are, very flashy sometimes when you're in the exhibition. There's a lot of things to see, and it can maybe make too much for your eyes that you are just looking a little bit around, or you're once you are really concentrate on one piece, there is so much things opening, more, I see it a little bit like that. So the exhibition is very nice,
Have you?
What does that mean? Heliopede or whatever that was.
Oh, I don't know. Helio is light, the helio.
Helio is sun.
The sun, exactly, and
Sun means sun?
S-U-N.
Oh, okay.
Sky is feet.
Heliopede.
Yeah, right. It's like the
Heliopede.
footprint of the sun. I don't know.
You just say happy feet.
Uh,
Or sunny feet.
It's-
I love this one. I think
I
these are
think-
great.
She has always great titles. I need not necessarily for each piece, but you know, she has a super, how do you say, a title for the whole exhibition.
Yeah.
And she uses, you know, she mixes sometimes terms together or invents also.
This has oil and silkscreen on wood.
Yeah.
So it
You see
has to,
that
these
on wood,
paintings
yeah.
have texture, right? They have, you know.
yes.
Mm.
Interesting.
So, you know,
Yeah, they're interesting for sure.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that.
it's,
I love this one.
mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's spooky. Spooky.
No, but look, it's like so nice. It could be a flower there, this red thing, you know, with the
Yeah.
sort of squeegee trick or whatever, you know, you get like this suddenly something. And
Look, I don't want you to analyze me, but this to me looks like it looked like a spider.
And-
The
okay.
leg.
But you know, with her technique, it's very. I mean, she avoids
Yeah,
the
yes, of
kitsch,
course.
the kitsch moment, you know, of
Yeah,
which
yeah.
you know you could go very easily because when you are so good with how she is, you could go, you could make really
Yeah.
beautiful flower thing, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
there are painters out there which make like this kitsch, you know,
Yeah,
and she is. I mean, she's on the edge sometime of that
Yeah.
makes also a good painting that
Yeah.
you are on the edge of something, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
That,
Instead of a literal.
so you know, but she's avoiding the cage actually. You know what I'm saying? It's very,
it's interesting. Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Phyllis, I want to hear more of what you think, because I feel like this is like something that you are.
I obviously don't agree with Hans, but that's my opinion.
what?
What part don't you agree with?
I don't, he doesn't think the white is important. I do.
No, the white is important. I didn't say the white is unimportant. I didn't say that it was important. No, I said she has three. She has more than one white. You know, she's
I know that.
you know, and
That
that's what I like. I like
one,
you know.
because it's a mass, and that mass has a physicality to me.
Yes.
I think the whole all these paintings there's something very physical, very tangible. It's as if you could go around them and see them in a different light, different form. They have dimension of their own kind.
Mhm.
You see them as flat, but they're really, the white part of it is very mysterious to me.
Hmm.
What's going on there when the white goes behind the yellow or whatever color, the black. And the edges become so interesting.
Hmm.
Sometimes they seem pasted on or
Yeah. Almost collage, right?
and sometimes they're quite sharp. There's almost like multiple realities in it.
Oh, that's
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the name of artist. Man, shows at Pace. Hans, he's the conceptual artist. You know, we've discussed him many times. He makes little things, you know, little paintings, little constructions, little collages.
Oh, yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah, we mean Tuttle.
Yeah, Tuttle. This
Yeah.
Oh.
very much of Tuttle's approach.
I agree.
There, everything is a discrete thing. So
Yeah.
everything has its own integrity. All the gestures, all of the forms, all of but yet they're thrown together. They have to sort of coexist more or
Bend of subtle.
less.
Yeah, they are not isolated just in one piece. One piece. It's there are, let's say, 10 different titles on one canvas. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this is subtle thinking,
This to me is very philosophical work.
much more dramatic, big, painterly presentation.
Because when you first see it, you say, what is all this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is until you start to look at it slowly. And one thing makes another thing apparent. And
Yeah.
it has layers of this of transparency and depth.
Yeah.
Where, Emily Mason did it with, she layered paint. This person, is it a woman?
Yes.
Yeah.
She is
Yes.
layering space. She's layering a physicality of space to me.
I sort of feel like the space is, in a way, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's almost airless. It's kind of the
It's-
oxygen is removed from this space. So all of these things do not exist in a coherent, naturalistic space. In other words, they don't share the same, they don't stay, let me finish and then you can speak. They don't share the same room. They don't share the same environment, right? They're all kind of dry cleaned and
Hmm.
sting, but in a kind of an oxygenless space.
Oh,
That's how I see this. So
I-
the disparate things, disparate objects, disparate visually effects, and they all coexist, but they have nothing to do with one another.
Exactly.
oh, that's interesting.
That you see a flower doesn't mean anything in itself, but its existence in this atmosphere that becomes very important.
Yeah.
And I think you verbalized it very well, Mark.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah.
Also exist in since they're engravings. Well, this is a painting, so it's about painting. She's very, very aware of painting. She's a painter. She's dealing with painterly elements. So she's dealing with these engravings as well from from who knows when, the 16th, 17th century or whatever. So it exists in suggests that it exists in time, but it's like AI. It doesn't matter where the information is coming from. It's all in your face in the present. It doesn't matter if
That's an interesting point. Yeah, very.
this little DNA comes from 1700s or 1683. It's all in your face now in this space that we can't even define. It's an empty, airless space. It's in the present, in other words.
Yeah.
Yes.
That to me sounds very spooky.
It's spooky. It is spooky a little
Yeah.
bit. A little bit. If it weren't for design and color, it would be very spooky, but the color and the elements of art give us some kind of, solace, contentment,
Yeah, something to hold on to.
right. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
So where-
Spooky.
oh,
I love this one too. And I
yeah.
didn't even see the legs before Hans pointed them out. Now I see legs.
Yeah.
Up there are the feet again. This is, from a famous Goldsey. There is this figure falling from the sky.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This famous etching of Golds.
I also thought that these could be the legs of like the Mantegna, pupae, putti, that, sitting, with their legs dangling down from the ceiling,
Yeah.
right? Which was sort of a thing that Renaissance painters used to do.
Yes.
They would the putti up, in a
Right.
cupola above on the ceiling with the legs dangling down.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's also an art historian.
Well,
Yeah.
she's aware.
References. So you know that she's
But we all are. We're all art historians in that sense. It's like we know, what came before us because we're interested.
Mm.
but I
Yeah.
guess she really uses that as a way of subconsciously getting us to think about things a little bit more.
It's a very intellectual approach.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, as Hans says, it's conceptual art, which I wouldn't have thought of until you
You can't call it conceptual.
know.
It's conceptual in that there's certainly ideas. She's thinking.
Yeah.
They're
She's
very
thinking.
very specific. I wouldn't call it conceptual art. It's painting.
Yeah.
I know, of course.
I don't know.
Had it as a treatise in philosophy. She came to it as a painter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She arrived at the same place that the philosopher does through verbalization and words
Right.
in a different, she doesn't start with a hypothesis. She starts with paint.
I think it starts with a feeling, something that needs.
Have a feeling of physicality.
Yeah. Needs to express something. She's found this way that.
Yeah.
Pretty-
Physical-
This is a really great show to see. Oh, boy.
But at the same time, Hans, she's very good at what she does, but at the same time, there's a lot of artists, a lot of painters that are thinking about this and that are working. I mean, even David Sally, in some way, is an antecedent.
But he did it more with figure, actually.
He did with figures and with imagery, identifiable imagery.
Identifiable.
But I mean, here it's interesting, she's avoiding photography.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's going a step backwards, to this old masterly practice of drawing,
Right.
and there's not
Mm.
even, it looks like, you feel that, that I don't know, the silk screen is also done by photography at the end, so photography must be involved, but it's not the photography in the sense of Rauschenberg and all the Warhol and all the masters,
Right. Right.
Yeah, what I'm saying, she's avoiding that thing,
Yeah.
That's,
But you're right when you
interesting in a way too.
you're right when you mention Warhol. There's a lot of Warhol in here as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely, there is absolutely, yeah, right.
Stand on that one, Mark?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for this one in particular, the design, flatness, the appropriation, the engravings that are appropriated from their source. That's all Warhol. The flatness, as I said, and in his later paintings, he did do some gesture on top of the silk screens.
Yes, I understand.
But and also on the white field, like all of Warhol's stuff was just either a white field or a painted field.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How do you silk screen? Like, does she silk screen on the canvas, or is she taking a piece of paper that's silk screened and putting it on the canvas?
Without seeing that, I can't answer, but I'm guessing that the silk screen is right on the canvas. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
You know why?
So she's screening on a canvas and then painting over that?
Yes.
Okay.
It feels like she's a purist
Right.
as far as painting is concerned.
It's not the collage, it's not collage,
It's not.
I
Yeah.
think that's much more interesting screening onto the canvas rather than the collage. I think it's, I don't know why.
Mm.
I think they're very good. I mean, they're really, you know, in the end, they're really nice to look at. So she's
Yeah, interesting too.
effective,
Yeah.
but she's got it.
Yeah, I think it. I would suggest, also recommend going there and look at the
Yeah, that's great.
Down there and
Yeah. Yeah.
very nice. Thank you.
good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Better
There
get,
are, there are,
Awesome.
by the way, many other shows in Chelsea which I don't want to mention, you know, and so on. And there is a lot of paintings going on and so on.
A lot of
In
good shows.
many galleries, yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So, Mark, I think
yeah, we're gonna let's
uh,
go to our.
we are now over an hour already, Mark.
Oh,
We need probably to shut down and come next week.
okay. Okay. So
I don't know. What do you think, guys? I mean,
yeah,
maybe.
yes. Let's sign off.
Yes.
But don't no one go anywhere. Okay, just hang out, hang around. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Yes. Goodbye, everyone.
I
Bye.
Bye.
Are we still live?
Press the button, Mary.